Hi dears, and welcome back. Today, not from the forest, I was literally just heading out the door and it started to pour. It's been really rainy. How is the weather with where you are at? Let me know. But let's see. Trust that whatever messages are coming through, you are able to discern which ones are for you. And yeah, this is an exercise for your intuition, so let's step in and start. We have I'm saying cups already because I'm seeing the cups. We have three cards here. We have the Lovers, we have the Queen of Cups, and then we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. I think this might be a love reading, my dears. Let's see. If there's no one in your life currently, this is not something that you can relate to, then take this as a message about your general concept, how you deal with love, how you engage with love, you know. So, but we're gonna go into what is most likely, which is this is some sort of a love reading. We're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it. We have the Lovers here, depicted as the Beauty and the Beast. The Lovers is a card from the Major Arcana. In the Tarot, there is a distinction between minor events in your life. So these aren't minor, but they are situations. These are things that will pass. And then there are major things that happen in your life. And these are depicted in the Major Arcana. Now, the Lovers are the sixth card, or it is the sixth card in the Major Arcana, depicting a divine union. You know, two people, two different versions of something that is in some way complementary, like two sides of a coin, coming together and creating something anew. So this pouring into one another in such an equal way, in such a giving and loving way, that there is something that comes out of it, a creation born out of it. And this doesn't mean to have children necessarily, but it is the relationship in itself it's its own entity. You know how when you end up in a long-term relationship, sometimes it has a dynamic to it, even if it's a short-term relationship. But in long-term relationships, you really do become aware of them. And you become aware of this separate entity, which is the relationship. And maybe this is something that is coming up because it's something that you need to talk about, this concept of relationships and what it means. And maybe also what I was getting is this concept or the idea of prioritization in life, what you put in your life forward, because it's not about putting in an equal, like the Lovers, they are not putting the other person before themselves. No, they are putting the relationship before either one of them. That's kind of the idea. And this relationship inherently calls for growth. It calls for exploration. It calls for allowance to grow. And sometimes you grow in separate directions. That happens. Sometimes you grow together. Whatever it is, it's a matter of coming out on the other end, gaining something. Something has changed in your life. Something has shifted. And we have here the Queen of Cups, the mother in the Tarot that relates to the emotions. Right? So I love that she's like this ocean queen here. Look at this. Beautiful. It's so nice. By the way, I hope the lighting is okay. I know this isn't the best, but I really struggle with like the lighting in my face. Like I have sensory issues, so it's difficult for me sometimes to record at home because I really struggle with lighting my face. So anyway, I hope you guys are able to see this okay. But the Queen of Cups, this idea of your emotions, again, you know, like the water element. The water, it is correlating to the emotions. It is what it depicts in the Tarot. So this is someone who's super empathetic. This is someone who's very caring, very nurturing, who takes on so much for the sake of, you know, taking care of all their little ones. But, you know, sometimes when you are this loving, you also take on too much. What does that mean? You start taking on things from people that you can only help them so much with. Now, we were talking about this idea of like, who are you putting? It's not about putting the other person in front. It's about this concept, this idea of what are we creating together to put that as a priority in life. And it's if you're the Queen of Cups, it's easy to kind of fall into this into a situation where you end up actually putting the other person in front of yourself, with the belief that you are putting maybe the relationship first. What am I saying with this? When does the shift happen? It's a matter of whether this is something that the person within themselves are working for themselves and for the relationship, right? If there is a lack of wanting to grow, or a lack of wanting to address one's own issues, so the burden falls on the other person within this third entity of the relationship, it is not equality, it is not this balancing, it is then putting the person before yourself, you know. I'm sorry, dears, I got a call. I'm back. So we're gonna see this as a spirit intervening here and saying we're gonna stop talking about this for now and move on to the next, which is the Ace of Swords in reverse. The Ace of Swords, look, the swords are your mind. The ace being a new beginning, a freedom in the mind, a cutting of old patterns, of old belief systems, embracing new ones. This coming out in reverse indicates that there is some sort of a blockage. Maybe you're really struggling with this concept of trying to see where the difference lies between giving and taking, between putting another person's needs in front of your own, or the relationship, what that actually means, right? Okay, so maybe this is kind of okay. I feel like an auntie that you know, back in the day when in magazines they had like auntie something, and you would write your relationship issues, or you would ask questions, and this was a very legit way to gain information, because we like you couldn't just like look stuff up. So I remember reading in magazines and stuff all these columns where people would come in and be like, this is happening in my life, what do I do? And I'm feeling this energy of like this auntie today, of giving you some very loving advice from a place of maybe, you know, having come from not just analyzing life, but also having lived life in a way. Yeah, okay, so let's see what this auntie needs to tell you today. More fertility. Wow, honey, if we're talking here about the Lovers, about family, right, this idea of fertility coming up makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, and I want to emphasize, I say this because I really take into account this is a general reading, right? So I can only go as specific as I can. But fertility is not only the concept of children, so maybe this idea of having a family, of having kids, is something that is an issue, or something that you're not on the same page with the Lovers because it's under the Lovers, or it's something that you know, this is why you also are craving this kind of partnership, because this is something that you want to create, you want to have this third entity that is seen as something that you both pour equally into in an effort to grow it, you know, this being potentially the relationship in itself, kids, projects, one another's personal growth, certain milestones in the material world, buying a house, having children, for example. You know, these are all different things that can be seen as growing, as fertility, as multiplying, you know. Okay, can we have more? Okay, well, let me think. The Queen of Cups. So, what is happening in regards to our Queen of Cups here, actually? Can we have an elaboration on the Queen? There's a few things that I've been wanting to come up, but okay, I don't know if you saw that. They flew out of my hand onto the ground. Give me 1 second. Wow, look at this. I normally don't read these cards in reverse, but I will today. I feel this is a very special reading. And look! You see the colors? This is so pretty. I appreciate colors so much. There's such a joy in this existence, you know. They bring such a joy. It's not a coincidence that we say, oh, it's like a speck of color in a dark world. Yeah, it is. And it's beautiful to have color in your life. Okay, but positivity and success. This is what you are craving, right? Positivity and success. Having a positive relationship, maybe, with relationships. Feeling like you have grown, like something has been successful. Success means there's been trial and error before. Success very rarely happens out of the blue. Very rarely. And then I would argue that there's probably stuff happening behind the scenes that you haven't seen yet. And that's maybe why you think, oh, it's a coincidence or something. But what I'm seeing here is someone who's put in the effort, who's growing, and whose success is very much in connection to their mindset, to a positive mindset, to a mindset of embracing the lessons that you have learned, not reverting into patterns potentially that you have already released. Why am I saying this? Because, as I said, I normally don't read these in reverse, but we have desire and the strength in reverse. What I'm sensing here is almost like maybe desire, maybe ending up in relationships with people where there's a baseline of a desire or something pulling you towards a person, and not being a very positive thing. Like you trying to release maybe this, going with the desire, maybe with the attraction. Maybe you're attracted to people that aren't good for you, and you're trying to break those patterns, you know. But the strength here in reverse, I'm really seeing it's almost like whatever you find here is your desire, what you crave, this caringness, the Queen of Cups, right? There is something here that ends up with you losing your strength. And what I am feeling and what I'm really getting here is the Queen of Cups loses her strength when she overgives. The Queen of Cups, when she forgets about the ebb and the flow and the necessity of the give and the take, of the balancing of the two. That's when the whole system breaks apart. Imagine if ebb and flow stopped working as they normally would. We would have cataclysmic events on the globe, you know, because it would disrupt the system. And here I am really sensing this is kind of what can happen. Maybe what has happened, maybe this is something that you're trying to work through. I don't know. I don't know, but I do think that you are trying to, and it's maybe you're struggling there with the Ace of Swords here in reverse in the beginning. Amazing. I was just going to ask, can we get some for the Ace of Swords? And here we are. Oh, haha, and we again have two that are upright and two that are in reverse. Very telling, dears. Look at this. I love that. I'm very intuitive. So I trust that, you know, things change and they evolve. And I have never before read these cards in reverse, actually. And I'm very much feeling this is exactly what we need to do right now. So I'm allowing it to happen. I'm allowing the shift. I'm allowing the ebb and the flow to happen. I'm not holding on to anything just for the sake of what? Fitting rules? Fitting... There is no rules. There is no rules. But look, the ones that are upright are the productivity and the purification. And I love it, the little pumpkin. Again, we have the colors. I love it. And oh, let me share with you the astrological signs on here as well. We have Cancer and what is this? Gemini. So Cancer and Gemini coming up. And I find it funny that it's the Cancer here and yet it's on the grounding and on an earth card as well. So you are finding, you're trying to break these patterns. You're trying to break whatever, you know, thing that you do, whatever desire, attraction, something that seems involuntary. But it is involuntary until you are able to discern what triggers the certain response. Once you understand that if you press here, that triggers there, you can, here's the difference, like here's where you can make the unconscious conscious. You can go into where you press the button and decide not to press it. Or you can bring in barriers, or you can bring in something at the end of what happens once you do press it, how you deal with what happens. Does that make sense? We're obviously talking very abstract stuff. But what I'm sensing here, the Ace of Swords in reverse. I think in your productivity, you're trying to maybe change the mindset. You're trying to be very proactive in doing something about it. You're being proactive in trying to heal yourself and trying to purify yourself. Purification is but releasing what is no longer needed. Have you seen Miyazaki's Spirited Away, where they have a guest house for spirits, where they come in, and it's not a guest house. What is it? It's like a cleaning house. I forgot. There's a name to this. But basically, the spirits come in and they get cleaned. And there's this one spirit who is so dirty. He's so dirty that he is not even seen as a spirit. People think he's a demon. And he starts to act like that because that's what people treat him as. And then the main character kind of comes in and is able to discern, oh no wait, you just really need to be cleaned off of all of this dirt. And once he's cleaned off of all the dirt, it becomes like this beautiful, beautiful river god, river spirit, sorry, whatever word you want to use. And yeah, and he's super, super grateful, and his true nature, his purest form is kind of revealed. It was always there. It was just not seen because of the layers of dirt that had to be very thoroughly scrubbed off. And it was a lot of hard work for our main character, you know? And I think that's kind of where you're at, dearest. What I'm sensing is maybe something that you're struggling with, that you still need to work on, that is, you know, calling for a bit more attention, is your communication and your grounding. My dear, if you might have already seen this on my channel, maybe you haven't, but I have quite a few grounding affirmations already on this channel. Maybe this is something that can help you just to have, we often don't realize how often we have patterns in our heads of how we speak to ourselves that are quite negative, you know. And here we go to help not press to deal with how you press the button, is to kind of introduce also positive things that you repeat to yourself continuously, and eventually you'll notice that the button might be pressed, but it goes in a different direction, you know. But yeah, so the grounding is something that could help you. And we have the Sun card here as well. So I just got really cold suddenly. We have the Sun card in reverse. So maybe having fun and embracing having more fun, embracing being more connected to your inner kid could be something that you're being called to do as well. And your communication here, the way you talk to yourself and to others, be more observing of that, or be less observing of that. What do I mean? This doesn't mean that you should actually observe less, but it's about ruminating. It's about analyzing and going in depth into communication. Being maybe conscious of the patterns as well. Doesn't mean you need to do anything in this life. There is no rules in this life, okay? Anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to uphold some sort of a hierarchical system. That's the reality. That's the breakdown of it. Because rules just give labels. Labels give parameters. They give boundaries. Boundaries give us safety. There we go. Connecting it all. And maybe you introducing boundaries, though, is something to give you safety too. Because if the Queen of Cups, we're returning here with the Queen of Cups, you know, introducing boundaries for yourself, finding where the ebb and the flow are then exhausted. At what point do you need to pull back? You know? And how do you communicate that to yourself, to others? And again, the communication and the grounding, I think together, the grounding affirmations make a lot of sense there. I'm gonna have a new one come out soon as well. Yes, thank you guys so much for watching my stuff. It really means so much. I repeat myself, but it's true, and I think it's important. Okay, we have the Hermit and the Three of Coins come out as well. And I feel very called to, you've guessed it, pick a third one. Let's get a third one. Do you, by the way, is there anything why I do? It's because I like it, okay? It's because it feels right to me. And because it feels right to me, it's what I do. And that's it. I've talked to people, like I've been doing tarot for such a long time. I've been doing it since I was like 13 years old. 12 or 13 I started. And I've met people who would tell me that there's rules to this. And I would argue like, oh, this is, you can't do that. You're not doing it right. And I'm like, my dear, I don't think you understand the practice in itself. Maybe I don't understand, and I'm open to that as well. I'm very open to that as well. But there's this core thing in me that I just do not subscribe to rules. No, thank you. Anyway, so dear, the Hermit and the Three of Coins have been concluded in the threes with the Queen of Swords. Yes, I love that, because we started off here, the Ace of Swords in reverse, right? Having some sort of an issue with your mind. Maybe us talking about this helped you kind of release or kind of untangle whatever's going on in your mind, for you to be able to observe it, for you to see the points of pain, right? If you're massaging a muscle to kind of find where the knots are, proper knots, and going in there to help the whole system function better. The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords is kind of, look, okay, that's why I said it. Look at that. Wow, it's this evolution. It's kind of, maybe what would help you to step from this emotional mother, from the very caring, and to a more rational mother, to one that maybe sometimes seems a little less emotional, a little more cold, but it is not coldness, it is detachment from a place of wanting to be fair, wanting to make choices that are helpful to you, that align with you, that allow you to grow, and maybe that allow you to be still the Queen of Cups. Maybe you don't have to, you don't have to give up being the Queen of Cups. You just have to introduce the Queen of Swords as well. And ultimately, once you have all the 4 queens, like a Pokemon, you collect all the 4 queens, you move on to the Empress. And then you have incorporated all the 4 different parts of being a mother. In a very simplistic term, obviously. And again, these are concepts, so it doesn't matter what your gender is. I'm sorry, guys. My voice is croaky. Okay. The Hermit. We have this idea of guidance, finding guidance within. The Hermit trusts in its solitude. It's not scared of being alone. He is not scared. She is not scared. Because they're always protected. They always have someone protecting them. And this reminds me, I'm getting so many references from movie and shows and stuff these days. I find that really fun that that's coming through. But this reminds me of Harry Potter and like the Patronus. So the spell that kind of takes all of your love and it makes it into this material thing. Well, it's not fully material, but it materializes it in some way as a protector over you, and you can call on it for it to come and support you. And it's often shown as an animal, your Patronus. And then the animal is connected to who you are, very individual. And it's not about what it looks like. The strength is not from what it looks like at all. At all. You can have the smallest little Patronus and be the most powerful one. You can have a scary one and do nothing. It's your love. It's the strength of your love. And now we have another reference, guys. I'm sorry if you don't know this stuff, but I hope that I'm explaining it enough for you to get it, even if you don't know what I'm talking about. But Bear Brothers, I think it's the name, which is an old movie from my childhood, I remember. And it kind of is, it's this idea where this guy, they all get awarded like little trinkets. I'm sorry if I'm butchering, like I'm trying to remember, but they all get like little trinkets that represent their soul. They represent the spirit that connects them, or the spirit that guides them. I can't remember fully, but basically our main character gets a bear, and he's like super pissed about it because he deems that to be less than what his brother had got before him. And what, a bear? Pfft, that's not strong. And oh god, you need to watch the video. You need to watch the movie. I'm gonna start crying. I can't think about this too much. But the bear ends up being one of the strongest totems that he could have gotten, because it's the representation of love. I'm crying. It's the representation of love, and unconditional love. Unconditional love that surpasses any boundaries. And we were talking about boundaries. Well, there are boundaries, there's levels to this, right? But it's this unconditional love that surpasses having to put anyone before you but love itself. Love itself being the number one. And when that is given, when that is the core of the onion, it will shape the rest of it. It will shape the rest of it. We have the 3 of coins here. It's a very emotional reading, guys. We have the 3 of coins in reverse. So collaborating with people, working together with someone might be difficult. You might struggle. We have this on the communication being in reverse card. So maybe this finding a good work, like someone to work works well with you, whether this is a business thing or not, because the coins do often indicate, specifically the Three of Coins, a business endeavor. But this doesn't have to be. It can be just, you know, someone that you mesh with well, that you work with well on a day-to-day operation, you know. When you have a partnership, a true partnership, it is an operation in itself. Again, it's its own entity. And to have someone that works well with you there, and continue to just try to cut through the mind and embrace more of a fair judgment, more of an analytic brain. When you find yourself overwhelmed, you're not less if you take back, you know. If you still believe you have to give to be loved, then that is still you coming from a place of not truly being connected to the universal love of the Queen of Cups either. Right? So you need this Queen of Swords. You need to come in with the mind. You need to come in with the analytical. You need to come in and find those spots that you can work with. But also don't fall into the trap of over analyzing points that you know you can't get any further. If you're looking at the same thing and you're thinking about it over and over and over and over, and you're not getting any new conclusions, maybe there's no new conclusions to be had, at least as of right now. So leave it and move on. And that's what we're going to do. And this is going to be the end of the message, my dear. Thank you if you made it up to here. I really appreciate you. I hope to see you here very, very soon. If you're ever interested in a personal reading, so you would like a video like this that is personalized for you, where you can ask me a question and I will give you a response, or you would like a talk with me and actually a one-on-one call, you can always contact me for both of these via the email in the description. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.